Hello everyone, it's Slippery Jack, and you saw the title. I'm going to be showcasing my CD collection. So, yeah, I know I was kind of supposed to do this in January, but I I didn't realize how many CDs I had bought this year. So I decided, you know what, let's put it off another year. I didn't really buy that much, did I? Well, yeah, my CD collection has grown so much, so yeah, I'm going to show it to you. Hope you enjoy it.
Alright, so since I ended the last video with my metal and progressive CDs, I might as well begin this one with heavy metal CDs. So right here I've got this is my Scandinavian metal CDs. I've got Once by Nightwish, uh self the self-titled debut album by Winter Sun, and Colony by In Flames. So Nightwish, this is like symphonic metal. Winter Sun, this is like melodic death metal. Some progressive elements in there, lots of folk elements. And In Flames, that's more melodic death metal. Unfortunately, like the In Flames one, it's just a sleeve. And I was ordering another album, trying to remember what that was, and the seller said that I could get a free album, and then I saw this on there. I was like, hey, this is a great album. I'm just gonna get it, and well, it was free. At least I got a great album out of it. These other ones, though, these have much nicer jewel cases. They have a jewel case at all. Yeah. Anyways, and right here I've got ISIS. Don't worry, not the terrorist group. I have This is Celestial, and this is Panopticon. And Celestial, this is well, both these. This is more metal, but this is post metal. This stuff is it's very atmospheric. It still has like that heaviness, but it's more cerebral. This one is very heavy. This one this is where like they start concentrating on atmospherics a lot more. But yeah, both of these great stuff. I would like to pick up their other albums as well. And right here, this isn't really metal, but this is Incala Venom by Opeth, their newest album. And as you can remember, in case you don't remember, this was my number one album of 2019. Yeah, and would I still make it my number one now? Probably, because you know what? This is just a great album all the way through. It does not get old. Got the lyrics, and also this is a special one because I've got the version in English and Swedish. And in case you didn't see that video, I do prefer the Swedish version because I like how you don't have to. It forces you to listen to the music and rather than the lyrics. Also, right here I've got Storm Corrosion, which is a collaboration between Michael Ackerfeld of Opeth and Steven Wilson of Porcupine Tree. This, though both of them tend to lean on the heavier side of things, this album is very soft. There's lots of acoustics on here, but still it still has that darkness. It is still just as unsettling as any of the stuff they've done, probably more so than anything either artist has ever done. It's a really weird album. I need to listen to this more. Still I'm still trying to get it. But you know what? If you're a fan of either of those artists, you need to hear this sometime because this is some really interesting stuff nonetheless. Okay, I'm gonna get more CDs. Transition. Right here, I've got Pearl Jam. This is Versus, and I've got Gigaton. And these aren't real. This isn't really. These two aren't really the ideal albums that a Pearl Jam fan would have. I mean, like, well, Versus would be like, this is a fan favorite, but not Gigaton. And just the second album and the newest album. That's kind of a strange kind of a, yeah, this strange combination. Can't get my words out. Yeah, but shouldn't there be 10 right here? Shouldn't 10 be right here? Like, that's supposed to be in my collection. Well, unfortunately, I don't have that album. I would like to get it, though, because that is a really great album. And then, right up here, I have some less cool stuff. This is Weezer. I showed you the Green album last time. And now I've got the Blue album, which is definitely their best work. And yeah, I go by like what most fans say. This is yeah, my opinions are the same as most fans. These two, as well as Pinkerton, their first three basically, are their best albums. These are the ones that are worth owning. The other stuff, take it or leave it. But this is their best. I still haven't heard that new OK Human album yet. I need to go listen to that and review it sometime. And also, they've got that Van Weezer thing coming up that I'm still waiting for. That was supposed to come out a year ago. But anyways, over here, this isn't really rock, but I've got the Prodigy. Like, I showed you The Fat of the Land. I showed you Invaders Must Die. Now I've got Always Outnumbered, Never Outgunned, and some of you may remember my review of this album. I wasn't too fond of it because I found it quite inconsistent. But you know what? This has grown on me since that review. Like, I've come to love most of these songs. You know what? I love pretty much all the songs. Some are better than others, but like, songs I didn't really get before, like Memphis Bells, like, and even Wake Up Call. That was I hated that one when I reviewed it, but you know what? That song has grown on me so much. Yeah. This is a great album. It's really underrated. I don't know why most Prodigy fans tend to not like this one. And right here, I've got the Chemical Brothers. Brothers Gonna Work It Out. And this is just one that I found at my local record store that was just giving out a bunch of CDs for free, and I saw this in there, and I was like, hey, Chemical Brothers, might as well take it. And then, yeah, I actually haven't listened to it yet, so I don't know if it's any good or not, but, well, I've got it. And all the stuff I've heard by the Chemical Brothers never let me down, so I've got high expectations, but yeah. Right here I've got some post-rock albums. So right here I have Station by Russian Circles. This is All Is Violent, All Is Bright by God Is an Astronaut, and Lift Your Skinny Fists Like Antennas to Heaven. And yeah, by Godspeed You, Black Emperor. So yeah, this is Russian Circles. That tends to be like sometimes more metal at times. This isn't like ISIS kind of metal, but all these albums, they have like the same post-rock this is like real post-rock. Like ISIS kind of used those tendencies sometimes. They had them, but this is the real deal. But anyways, yeah, Russian Circles, that can be metal at times. God Is an Astronaut has a lot of electronics. It's like, this is like more like space rock, space post-rock, if that's even a thing. But yeah, this is great stuff. I think it's their best. if not, it's one of their best. And Godspeed You, Black Emperor. This is a double album. This is very experimental. Sometimes it's kind of questionable whether this would be post rock. Okay, yeah, it's definitely post rock. You still get that jangle, but this is a lot uglier. It's these songs are very long and meandering, and there's lots of different, lots of interesting things that go on here. And you know what? I think this is definitely one of the finest albums I have in my collection. It's definitely a must listen, and yeah, all the critics, they are right about this thing. This is amazing. Any hardcore music fan needs to hear Lift Your Skinny Fists at some point in their lives. Um, here's some stuff that isn't so cool. This is Coldplay. Alright, here come the hate comments. Yeah, I do like some of Coldplay's stuff. Mainly just like these two albums are their best. Like X and Y right here, and this is Viva La Vida or Death and All His Friends. Is that not what it was called? Yeah, it just says Viva La Vida on mine. I'm thinking of the song, aren't I? Oh my goodness, it's been a while since I've listened to this thing. But yeah, this is also a double album. It's got Prospects March on it, which is like some, I think these are like demos or B-sides, I can't remember, but stuff that was left off the album. And I haven't really spent much time with that. The real reason I bought it is just like, it's got a great album in it, and this is definitely their best work. It's got lots of world influence. It's got Brian Eno involved. Like, anything with Brian Eno is going to be good. So yeah, just if you can get past like like their popularity and stuff, Coldplay can be pretty good. And right here, I have Otmar Liebert, Nuveo Flamenco. Is that how you say it? I sure hope so. But yeah, this is like new age music, I guess, flamenco music. And I a long time ago, I made this video about like CD versus cassette tape, and I was I compared the sound of them, and this and the I have this on cassette, and for the longest time I had no idea what it was. I just found this tape when I was really young, and it had this music on it, and I just liked it, and I never knew who it was until I finally asked Google what it was. And yeah, I found this at my music store, and at my local music store, and I was like, I can't pass this up. This isn't, I know, like, I'm making this sound like it's not going to be like one of those everyday albums, and yeah, it's really not, but you know what, this is good music. This is good music right here. This is something you all need to hear. Right here, I have Morning Sci-Fi by Hybrid. I showed you my copy of Wide Angle last time, and this is their second album. This is, like my copy of Wide Angle, this is a double album, except this one has a DVD in it of, like, about the making of the album, as well as the studio album, which is really awesome. And yeah, this one tends to hug the dark side a little more, and it seems to rely less on an orchestra than Wide Angle did. It's a different album. I wouldn't say it's as good, but you know what? This is still a great album. everything Hybrid has done is fantastic. All right, transition. Right here, I have my Orbital collection. As you can see, this has grown quite a bit since my last video. From what I remember, I only showed you like I had Inside's Middle of Nowhere and Civilization, but now I have the Green album, the Brown album, which is like their 2 dance albums, and then yeah, now I have the All Together, and I have the Saint. I think I showed you guys the Saint. I can't remember, but yeah, Orbital. They're like they're 90s techno, one of the best bands of that genre. I don't understand it. Like whenever I hear about like this type of music, I never hear about Orbital. But you know what? This band, they need more they need more attention than what they have now. Because yeah, all these albums, everything Orbital has done is just great. So yeah, this copy right here of the Green album, by the way, if you're gonna get this album, get the vinyl, or I don't remember like what the cassette is like, but the CD version is just it's just not good. It's just meh. I mean, like there's all these songs on here, they're good, but this album has lots of potential. I remember like when I bought this thing and I played it, it really went down in quality. I was like, was this album really like that meh? But you know what? It really is a great album if you listen to it the right way. Like, first off, Belfast should not be the first track. Fahrenheit 3D3, originally it was like Fahrenheit 303, something like that. It was like 2 minutes longer on the original mix, and Speed Freak was not the Moby remix. The Moby remix was alright, but the first one was much better. The original did not have Satan on it. I don't remember if it had Choice. It's been a while. But yeah, this really is a good album, but go listen to the real version. Luckily, with Orbital's other stuff, you don't really have to worry about crap like that. And speaking of Moby's remix, I've got this album right here by Moby. Everything is Wrong. The light is getting really annoying. But yeah, this is like what Moby considers his first real album, and I have to agree. Like I can see why, because this is the first album that really sounds like Moby to me. It's got like all his variety that he puts in his albums. It's not like 18 kind of stuff, but it does. You are starting to see some of those elements come in on a lot of these songs. You get like these more atmospheric tracks. You've got rave tracks, and you've got hardcore punk tracks on here. Like this is everything Moby has like ever done. Like this is in a nutshell. And you would think that all that variety that would just ruin the album, but you know what? No, it did not. This is one of his finest works right here. Right here, I've got Autechre, whatever you want to call them. But I've got Incunabula right here, which is their most accessible album, right next to their least accessible album, Draft 7.30. Kind of a weird mix right here. But yeah, Incunabula, think like Selected Ambient Works, 85 to 92. got like those atmospheric pads and stuff. But this one is just like there's like not really concern for atmosphere. This is one of the most complex and hardest to get IDM albums. Like in terms of getting it, I mean buying it, like it's not that hard, but I mean like understanding it. Like these rhythms are so complex, and sometimes it just sounds like a whole load of nonsense. But you know what? It really is a great album. Both of these are really great stuff. I'd love to get more of more Altecker. Transition. Alright, so right here I have Air. So last time I showed you Moon Safari, 10,000 Hertz Legend, and Talkie-Walkie. Now I have Pocket Symphony and La Voyage dans la Lune. So, yeah, in case you didn't know, I'm a big fan of Air. Well, that kind of sounds funny. Fan of Air. Don't not. I know it's bad. Anyways, so yeah, Pocket Symphony. This is one of their longer albums. It's like more acoustic. It's not really. They're kind of ditching the electronics on here. Sorry about that. And yeah, neither of these albums are as good as like the ones up here, because these are like super albums right here. But these are still great. And Le Voyage dans la Lune, it's a bit like Moon Safari, but more dramatic. It's supposed to be a soundtrack to the film A Trip to the Moon, which is just a 15-minute silent film from the early 1900s. And yeah, it's a great soundtrack. It was really really good album. Right here I have BT. So I've got IMA or IMA, however you say it, ESCM. I showed you these two. I also showed you this Binary Universe. I now have Movement and Still Life. Movement and Still Life, it's like, this is, it's more, you get like more of the trancey kind of stuff on here, but like a lot more emphasis on techno. And also, this is the British edition. I was very lucky to find this in my music store. I just kept seeing the American edition everywhere, and I was almost tempted to buy it because, I never see the British edition anywhere, but then this came up and I was like, I'll be taking that. And yeah, the British edition knocks the American edition out of the park. Like, Mad Skills, Mike Checa is in the right place rather than the starting track. Satellite is at the end. I mean, like, why in the world would you put that in the middle? And then, what is it called? Dreaming is like, it's full length. This is just the perfect order. This is the best edition. If you're going to listen to this album, listen to the British edition. You won't regret this. And right here, I have Sun Kil Moon. This is not an electronic album. This is I guess like you could call it folk rock, alternative rock. I don't even know what you call this thing. I don't feel like Sun Kil Moon really has a genre. It's just Sun Kil Moon. But yeah, Sun Kil Moon, that is the solo project of Mark Kozelek, the singer of Red House Painters. On this album, he takes it's less of his slowcore type stuff, and it's slightly more upbeat, but still kind of keeps a slow tempo. And the songs are still long. They are still lyrically fleshed out. But this is like more mature, I feel like, than Red House Painters was. Like when I say mature, I mean like his songwriting is really developed. His songwriting in Red House Painters was amazing too, and this is probably his best project yet. Though it is kind of hard to say because he had some amazing albums in Red House Painters, but yeah. This is fantastic stuff. Transition. Here we have Brian Eno, which is ambient music. This is music for airports, Ambient 1, Ambient 2, The Plateau of Mirror, Ambient 4 on land, Apollo Atmospheres and Soundtracks with Roger Eno and Daniel Lanois, however you say that, the Shutov Assembly. Oh shoot, I still need to take this price tag off. And Small Craft on a Sea of Milk, is that how you... Yeah, Small Craft on a Sea of Milk with John Hopkins. So yeah, lots of these are all like ambient stuff. Plateau of Mirror, this is like more piano driven. Apollo seems that has a lot more guitar on it. Shutov Assembly, that was an interesting one, and most of the time I see the cover being green, but I found this blue one. I was like, oh, I'll take this. This looks different. And Small Craft on a Sea of Milk with John Hopkins, like, I know that sounds really awesome, and it is just as great as you would think. This is not just John Hopkins, Leo Abrahams. I don't even know who that is, but this is a great album. There's lots of weird experimental stuff that kind of steers away from ambient sometimes. And yeah, all of these are worth checking out. Right here, I have more ambient stuff. This is Biosphere, which is, yeah, a lesser known ambient artist. This is Substrata. Like, this is, I've shown you this one. This is the one most of you probably would know if you know any of his albums. Dropsonde is, this is like ambient stuff with jazz influenced percussion and some Boards of Canada influence sometimes. And I have Shenzhou right here, which is like, it's really weird. I don't know how to explain it that would make it sound interesting. It's basically like orchestral loops or just samples of classical music repeated a million times with special ambient effects. It's not as boring as it sounds. This is a really great album. It's one of his best. These 3 albums are his best albums, by the way, in my opinion. And by the way, this one comes with Man with a Movie Camera, which is a second disc. And this one, wait a second. This one also has bonus tracks on here. How did I not notice that? Wow. But anyways, yeah, great stuff. Transition. These are my shoegaze albums. This is Loveless by My Bloody Valentine, and this is the self-titled album by Slowdive. This one, My Bloody Valentine, is like more noisy, but with lots of pop tendencies. Slowdive is like more dreamy. Or like, they tend to lean more towards dream pop a lot of the time, but this is still definitely shoegaze. This is their newest record, and one of their best, definitely. This was a great comeback album. And yeah, like, Loveless, this one is an essential shoegaze album. Like, if you're a fan of shoegaze, you have to know this album. Anyways, right here I have Endless by Soviet, which is an Italian post-punk, shoegaze, whatever you call it, kind of band, and who came out of Pesaro, Italy, and they are part of this new scene of artists who play like this dreamy post-punk stuff. But like, when you think of post-punk, like, it typically has that Joy Division influence. With this Pesaro scene, Joy Division has kind of taken a back seat. This is like the new stuff. This is different. There's like more of a wall of sound going on here. And yeah, this is probably my favorite album by them. It keeps changing. And when I ordered that album, it came with this Gold Class album, and you know, I couldn't really get into this one. This wasn't as good. I mainly wasn't a fan of the vocals, but you know, maybe I need to listen to it a little more. But yeah, I just wasn't feeling it. And also part of the Pizarro scene, I have Earth Beat by B Forest. And yeah, B Forest, they're a very obscure group, but they seem to be doing pretty well in Italy. Like Soviet, they play like a post-punk type thing, but it's more... If Endless is the Loveless of the scene, being more noisy, this would be the Slowdive or the Souvlaki of the Pizarro scene. This is not about like distorted guitars. I mean, they are there sometimes, but this is much more dreamy. It's still like this wall of sound though, and there are a lot more electronics, but yeah, I'm a big fan of B Force. They are one of my favorite bands right now, and you know what? What the heck? I'll show it to you anyways. I've got one of their other albums, Nocturne, on vinyl. Like, I bought it on vinyl. Like that that should show you that I love this band. I yeah, this I one time said that I would be doing a vinyl collection video like last year, and that never came. And you know what? I'll make it up to you by showing you one of my vinyls right now. And yeah, this is a great album, and I think this is probably their best work. I know it's their newest, but I just love the atmosphere, and everything about this album is just brilliant. And I don't own their first album though, Cold. I'm gonna get that though. I will be getting that soon. I can guarantee you it will be in my collection next video. But yeah, that is my CD collection. I hope you enjoyed that. And I will be sure to make a vinyl video. I've got lots of stuff to review right now, so I might do that later. But you know what? Get this video to 20 likes, and I'll do that vinyl video next. So yeah, that's all for today. Like and subscribe to support this channel, and make sure you click that bell so you get notified when I make another video, and I will see you next time.